care of what we are given. And that's what I would ask you as citizens. You should be asking the same questions. What's this money being spent on? What's it being used for? I mean, I'm sure y'all are as curious as I am. I haven't gotten any hard, concrete evidence on what it's being used for or spent for. So those are things that I see that we need to do, that our office needs to work on to get better, to help the victims, help law enforcement, help the citizens in this community, to help make it safer. I mean, we've got to live within our means. I would like to know what our means are. And that's why one of the things I'm going to do is call for an audit. In fact, on February 11th of this year, I asked Solicitor Adams in an email to her, you need to audit the worthless check unit because of the way it was being handled and run. Now, on the 12th of February 12th, she sent out, she stepped down, saw that she was not going to seek re-election. But that's fallen on deaf ears. There's a reason why I think an audit is in the interest of the office. And I'm sitting here saying now that money's missing or money has been stolen. Don't get me wrong there. But what I'm saying is this. Any of y'all that's been in business or even manage your own checking book know checks and balances, credits and debits got to equal. And that has never been done in our office. In the solicitor's office has never had an audit that I know of. And there's lots of money coming in through many programs, pretrial intervention, worthless checks, drug court, bond mistreatments. There is a lot of money pouring into that office that we need to know where it's from and where it's going. And we need to know if they all match up.
Okay. Your office, if you're elected, your office, of course, as has been the case, you have a finite budget. You have a finite amount of money to work with. What will be your procedures for the balance of the big cases versus the small cases? This has to be a difficult decision of how many really high-profile cases to take. It would take a lot of time versus some of the lesser crimes that may not get tended to as far as the prosecutorial process. Those people are important too. So I know it's up to the solicitor to decide that balance. Do you have an intention of how you would do that?
Yes, I do. One of the things is basically prioritizing your cases. How do you go about doing that? Well, you have to sit there and look at first the age of the case. And I've always been taught since I've been a prosecutor, you work your oldest cases to the newest. And that's not always, there's always exceptions. You work your jail cases. Because you want to get those moved. If they're going to jail, we'd rather the Department of Corrections feed them than us feed them. So those are the people we have to look out for and try to move. But that being said, every case in that office is important. Usually when a victim is there, that victim's only been in court one time, most likely. Now we do have some professional victims, but for the most part, when people are involved in a criminal justice system, that is their only time involved. It's usually overwhelming for them. It's the job of solicitors to sit down and go over the case with them. They'll go over with law enforcement. And you base everything on what you can move. One of the things is a lot of people talk about, well, there's people been in jail a while. There has been. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It takes a while for the evidence to come back from SLED. Anderson County is like every other county for almost just about every one in the state, in that we have to rely upon the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division to test and analyze the forensic evidence that's collected at crime scenes. And they just don't jump on it because we say we're Anderson County. Now you get put on a waiting list and you have to work your way to the top. So there's a problem, what causes the backlog. Also causes the backlog is defendants. They play the game, they fire their attorneys, they have to get mental evaluations, and that takes time. And when you do that, it makes that case get older and older, but eventually it comes to court. It's not as fast as we would like. We only have a certain amount of time every year to do cases. In that 24 to 26 weeks, just say 24 for easy math here, 12 of those are court weeks. So during those court weeks, you have to prioritize the cases that need to be moved. You have to use that court time. It's just like being a solicitor is like running a business. You have a commodity, it's court time. and you have to use it wisely. And you target those individuals that need to be removed from this community, whether it's a big case or a small case, whether it's a murder case or a string of burglaries, or it's a thief who's been caught many times. The people that are terrorizing the community, the people that the citizens know are just stealing everything that's not nailed down, are causing problems in the community, need to be out of the community, those are the ones you use that court time to get rid of, to get from our community to make it safe. So, the short answer is you have to look at who is causing the most problems. It's like having an FBI top 10 list. We have, Anderson County has its own list. Those are the ones we use our court time, trial time to move.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open up for questions from the audience. Anyone have a question of council?